official weight 169.5 pounds. This Olympic silver medalist and future Hall of Fame fighter has a professional record consisting of 51 victories, including 38 knockouts for the feast, and he has captured 8 world title belts. From Pensacola, Florida, former middleweight world champion, former super middleweight world champion, former light heavyweight world champion, and former heavyweight champion of the world, and fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue with red, official weight 170 pounds. His place in the Hall of Fame is assured with 5 world championship belts. His professional record stands at 42 victories, including 35 knockouts and only 2 defeats. He's the former welterweight world champion, former super welterweight world champion, and former middleweight champion of the world, de Cubeato, Puerto Rico, Felix Tito.
Good evening, Felix. Tito, you received the rules earlier tonight. Let's go toe-to-toe. Good luck. Touch gloves.
All right, so we're set to go. We take a look at the tail of the tape. The height's exactly the same as is the reach. Tito Trinadad is 4 years younger, and there's a ½ pound between them in weight. So there's not a lot except the age difference between these two guys. Jones, as you know, 8-time world champ. Here's the rules. No standing 8 count, 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and the referee or the doctor can stop the fight. Tito Trinadad in the dark blue kind of short shorts. We haven't seen those in boxing in a while. And Roy Jones Jr. in his gray and red. So both guys start out the first few seconds kind of cautious, and now Trinadad goes after him with the right hand. Tito's been out of action for 2.5 years. Roy Jones Jr. fought in 2007 in July. He beat Anthony Henshaw in Biloxi, Mississippi over the course of 12 rounds. Tito did not look good his last time out, but styles make fights, and he didn't measure up with Mickey Wright. Mickey with his great defensive skills and plenty of offense in each round, and beat Tito in every round. A lot at stake for both men in this fight, in spite of the fact that Roy Jones Jr. is now 39 years of age. He wants one more big payday and feels like a world title shot is in line against Joe Calzaghe, which would be a big money fight. He, by the way, is a big favorite, a betting favorite. The crowd favorite is Tito Trinadad because there's a predominantly Puerto Rican crowd here at Madison Square Garden in New York for this fight. And the Colonel Bob Sheridan, glad that you're going to be with myself and Dave. Dave's struggling with a tough throat tonight, so we'll bring him in occasionally for his expert comments on the fight. Tito has been more offensive-minded than has Roy Jones. Roy looking to land something big. Not too much offense so far. That one taken in the gloves of Tito. Minute 15 seconds to go in the first round. But both guys open a little bit on the cautious side here. Jones hanging that left hand down. He wants to counter Tito Trinadad. 2 hard body shots by Tito. And of course, Tito's strength throughout the course of his prime of his career was his left hand. Looping right hand shot upstairs, but Roy Jones Jr. hasn't done anything in this first round. Third man in the ring, Arthur Mercanti Jr. He likes to be called Arthur Mercanti now. Some hard shots by Roy Jones. Tito gobbles him up and goes back downstairs with the left hand.
Watch your heads.
20 seconds to go in the round. Roy only threw those 2 power punches. Other than that, he hasn't done much in this first round. Tito forcing the fight. Closing seconds now in the first round. Tito with the uppercut. Roy misses with the left hand. Boy, it looks like he's got a lot of power in the shot, but Tito's landing the shot. And there's the bell ending round number 1. Roy did a little hot dogging at the end of the round, and Tito didn't like it.
Now, see what you want to see that round? Huh? Okay, let's go to work, baby.
Paul Ferguson has been with Roy Jones since the get-go.
All right. Put a little Vaseline
Richard Lucy
on his face.
Bucky Smith. And it's Tito with his dad. Orlando Pinero. Carlos Lopez.
No te sobreconfíes, Tito. No te sobreconfíes. Bien vivo, Tito. Bien vivo, Tito.
Very relaxed is Roy. And look at this right hand. Boom, that one gets through, but it partially blocked by the glove of Tito Trinadad. And watch the left hand right here. Right up underneath the liver. Good shot by Roy. Again, Roy, because of his, a guy that once fought for the heavyweight championship, and not only once fought for it, won the heavyweight championship at around 200 pounds, trained down to 170. As a matter of fact, 169.5. And when he asked him, "Can he get down to 68 to fight Calzaghe?" he says, "What's another half pound?" But in reality, in his career, many people think that the reason he lost his fights to Antonio Tarver and Glenn Johnson was the fact that it was too severe on his body to come down so fast. Even though he won the first Antonio Tarver fight by a majority decision, but coming down was just too damaging to his body. Is Tito Trinadad landing shots. Jones able to gobble him up. Trinadad, don't forget, fighting at 170 pounds for the first time in his career. He's never fought higher than 160.
Tito, keep him up.
He fought Winky Wright at 160 and also C. Sharifi. But he was going up then. Tito's been the busier of the 2 fighters, but some of the heavier blows have been landed by Roy Jones. 2 jabs taken on the forehead of Jones. Jones just paused with a left uppercut. Hard body shot by Roy. No effect taken on Tito. And he comes right back with his tough left hook of his own. One thing I don't notice any ring rust to Tito Trinadad here in the early going. Looks like his timing is all there. Jones appears to be pacing himself more than is Tito Trinadad. At least Tito is forcing the fight more. Hard body shot again by both men. Left hooks. Tito just outside the outstretched punches of Roy Jones. One of those got through a light left hook inside. Jones covers up, digs hard to the body. So Jones wants to punish Tito early with hard body shots, and Tito is actually scoring more shots. 30 seconds to go in the second round. Tito to this point is outboxing Roy Jones. Jones at some stage is going to want to load up a right hand, and he finally does. Almost simultaneously. He must have been thinking about it when I said it. Bounce the head back at Tito, but no damage done. And now it opens up, and look at the way the crowd reacts. Bill ends the second round. Good action for the last 15 seconds. But that's a Trinadad round. say after 2 rounds that you know, styles make fights. You hear that all the time, but the winky right style just didn't measure up for Tito Trinadad at all. Trinadad looks a lot better against Roy Jones. Roy Jones is 39 years of age, but still has considerable power.
You're getting them singles and I know he don't like them. He don't like them. I like you to move around him a little bit when you do it, though. When you do it, move around and chop him again. Don't let it